Thank you for tuning into Abundant Moments. Recently, we talked about how God, one of the names of God, and one of the abilities, characteristics of God is the Lord of Hosts, which means He is in charge of all the heavenly hosts, the armies of heaven, and He is in charge of those on our behalf. He fights our battles. He is there for us, and we need to recognize Him as the Lord of Hosts and to know that the angelic beings are working on our behalf. And we need to call on the Lord of Hosts because He is the Lord of Hosts in our lives. But as we think about that, and as we've talked about that, I made a reference to Elisha and Gehazi, how they were encamped round about with the enemy of Syria, and how Gehazi thought they were going to be destroyed. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, open his eyes so that he might see. Now, it wasn't that, Gehazi had his natural eyes closed, but his spiritual eyes were closed. And as God opened his eyes, then Gehazi could see that the enemy was small in comparison to the Lord of Hosts. And of course, as we said, they had victory that day. I recamped this today to remind us that we need to ask the Lord to open our spiritual eyes. The Bible lets us know through Jesus, He said, you have not because you ask not. And so many times if we don't know about something, then of course we can't ask for it. So you might not have known this, that you have spiritual eyes, but you do. And I want you today to ask the Lord of Hosts to open your spiritual eyes so you can see beyond what you see. So you can see into the unseen realm, the faith realm. So you can see God high and lifted up. So you can see that He is on your side, and you can see that things aren't as they may seem in the natural, but God is working on your behalf. I remember years ago when I pastored in Tennessee, I preached a sermon on opening our spiritual eyes. And one of our ladies that day had prayed that, and she earnestly meant it. And later on that week, she called me and she was so excited. She said, Pastor, I want you to know I prayed that prayer, and something was going on at work this week, and I saw beyond what I could see in the natural, and I realized that things were different than what they were saying. And because of this, some things that would have been negative for her was in a positive realm, because she had spiritual eyes that were open to see what was really happening there. So I encourage you today, pray and ask the Holy Spirit, ask the Lord of Hosts to open your spiritual eyes, and by faith begin to see beyond what we can see in the natural realm. Because you see, God is a spirit, and the main thing we are is a spirit. We are a spirit. Our spirit man is going to live forever. Of course, we have a body and we have a soul, which is our mind, will, and emotions, but we are a spirit being, and we need to start seeing in the realm of the spirit. And when we do, our lives are going to change, and we're going to be able to change other people's lives. So I encourage you today, right now, say, Holy Spirit, open my spiritual eyes. And now say, I believe that I have spiritual eyes to see. And I know that you're going to begin to see things that you have never seen before, because there are all kinds of things going on in the spirit realm. And when we begin to see, then we can truly pray the right way, and we can truly make a difference. Thank you for tuning in today.